the worst rank bracket to be in Siege might not be the one you're expecting. Hey, what's up guys, IrishTail here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing which rank bracket, in my opinion, is the worst to be in. So before we jump into this full little video here, I'm actually going to ask you guys right now to put in the comments below what you think the worst rank bracket to be in is. You know, be it from Diamond all the way down to Copper, what do you think is the worst rank bracket to be placed in? Okay, so I'm going to hopefully assume you guys have done that, maybe you paused the video. So yeah, basically the idea here is I'm going to discuss to you guys what I think the worst rank bracket is and why it is. Now, I imagine a lot of you guys probably went and put Copper as the answer to what you think the worst bracket is. And you know what? You could be forgiven for doing so because basically, you know, it is the lowest rank bracket there possibly is. You can't go any lower than Copper 4, so you'd assume maybe Copper 4 would be a lot of the answers a lot of you guys have given. Well, in fact, I'm actually here to tell you that is not the case. The rank bracket that I have found to be the absolute worst bracket to be in is in fact Gold and High Silver. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably sat there going, well, actually, no, that's the middle of the spectrum, you're talking shit, what are you on about? Well, actually, I'm here to explain to you why I think this is the case. And when it comes to Siege, obviously you have to look at the skills, like the skill distribution, quite in depth to understand how people are placed. Now, when it comes to Siege, generally speaking, the rank placements are in a bell curve. What that basically means is there are very few coppers and bronzes. They get there's like a large peak when it comes to sort of silvers and golds, and then again it goes down in the amount of platinums and diamonds there are. So generally speaking, the largest rank bracket of players is silver and gold. So this is where the majority of players actually sit. And the reason this rank bracket, in my opinion, is so bad is because these are the players that happen to be the worst at doing pretty much all the essential things in Siege. They happen to have the skill to be able to put in those brackets, at least when it comes to accuracy and stuff, but they don't generally have the skill to go any higher. Now, again, I can still see a lot of you guys saying things like, yeah, well, you've just said there, they've got skill, so, you know, they're in a slightly higher bracket, and it's not the worst place to be. But that's not the case. Now, as I've always told you guys in these sorts of videos, I have quite a few accounts that I play on Siege, and with those accounts, I have sort of tried every single rank bracket out there on Siege, both on American and EU servers. Now, generally speaking, the breakdown on how those different rank brackets play is typically the same across all the different dimensions. Areas. Now, the first one we'll look at is Copper and Bronze. Now, generally speaking, Copper and Bronze players know they aren't the best in the world. They know they're not very good, they know they have certain areas to work on, and they know they need to improve. Now, because of that, in those areas, they are constantly trying to improve their aim, they are constantly making call-outs, and they are constantly talking to their team, making sure that information is passed around. They're just in that unfortunate state of not being good enough to progress, but wanting to get better, so they're willing to put the effort in to actually improve on the more important areas of Siege. They just happen to be in this unlucky state of like not getting enough wins. Then you have the low silvers. Now again, these guys, similar to the bronzes and coppers, are aware they're not the most amazing normally. They're just, you know, they're just aware that they can do a little thing here and there to improve, and they'll get better and they'll hit those higher silver and gold ranks. And again, these guys typically tend to be the people that communicate and give good calls, and, you know, their aim's not the best, but they can generally play quite well. And then you have the top end of the spectrum, where we're gonna come back to silver and gold. But yeah, the top end of the spectrum, which is platinum and diamond. Now, generally speaking, these players, they know what they're doing. They're constantly communicating. They're good at shooting, and they do everything that players should be doing to maintain that rank distribution and maintain that placement. So generally speaking, these players are up here for a reason, and they know they should be there. They don't sort of sit there and think, oh, you know, I'm better than everyone else here. They know they're in the right rank bracket. They know they should be placed there. They might go, oh, okay, I should get diamond. But again, these players are willing to put the effort in to go up to diamond, to go up to high platinum. They are willing to communicate. They are willing to, you know, play around the team. They are willing to work together to reach that higher rank bracket. And then you have the sort of the high silvers to golds. Now, this is generally where the largest clusterfuck of players tends to be, and also is where it's most, let's say, inconsistent for how players are. Now, generally speaking, the gold and silver bracket can be split up into a 50-50 community base. You have the 50% who are okay with their rank placement. They know if they want to get better, they have to improve, the same as every other rank bracket knows they have to. Then you have the other 50%. Now, these 50% are the ones that make this the worst bracket to be in. These are the guys who think they should be in a better rank bracket, but they think they can do it solely based on skill alone, and they think nothing else in their gameplay is wrong. They just constantly blame their teammates, they constantly blame other things, they think that continuing the way they're doing is going to get them to a higher bracket, and they just think they've been placed badly, they don't think they're in the right bracket, and they're disappointed with where they are. And basically, the reason they make this such a bad rank bracket to be in is because, like I said, they're not the players that are willing to change. When I come across these types of players, normally speaking, they won't be using microphones, they won't be communicating, they'll be lone wolfing it with the team, they won't be paying attention, they won't be willing to listen to strat calls, and generally speaking, they think they know better than everyone else because they think that they think, oh, I should be a platinum, so I know the best stuff here. The rest of my team don't because they're all golds, and they're kind of generally speaking a lot more cocky about it. Now, again, the issue here is they're not willing to change. These are the players that ruin it for the rest of their teams. It's very easy for one person who isn't willing to improve to bring down an entire team. For example, the other day I was playing, this was off stream, thankfully, I was playing with a guy who was unwilling to help the team. The rest of us were using microphones and we were like, dude, come on, you need to start playing with us, you need to start working with the team. And instead, all he kept doing was going lone wolf, not working with us, not willing to help us, and generally speaking, he wasn't a team player. And once we started to lose, instead of going, oh, okay, let's band together and work together, he started going, oh, this is all your fault, you guys are the reason we're losing, not me. And he didn't accept that it was him, and he was just flaming us in chat, having a go, and then for the last 2 rounds, he just sat there and did nothing. He basically just threw the game, because he went, well, he literally said, his words were, you guys aren't good enough to rank up, so I'm not going to carry you. Now, the funny part was he was the lowest scoring teammate on our team, and we only lost the game by 1 round, even with this guy throwing. Now, generally speaking, you'd think that would make him think, oh, okay, maybe it's me, maybe I need to improve. But no, he flamed the entire time and made out like it was our fault that he wasn't in a top rank, and it was our fault that he was in such a bad position. And generally speaking, like I said, this happens around 50% of the time. You get these players who are just not willing to accept that it might be something on their behalf that they're getting wrong. Now, granted, a lot of players do this generally, but again, some people will accept this, like myself, okay? When it comes to my YouTube account, when I'm streaming, generally speaking, I will point out the mistakes the enemy, like my own team, are making. Yes, that is very true, I do that. But I'll also point out when I make mistakes. If I'm playing, I'll go, oh, I've got potato aim, I shouldn't have gotten that kill, all these sorts of things. I will call out my own mistakes. But generally speaking, when it comes to these sorts of things, I try and communicate with these players. I try and initiate conversation. But players don't communicate. And unfortunately, like I said, this is a thing that mainly golds and silvers do. Like I said, in the bronze bracket, I kid you not, I have played that with one of my alternate accounts, and those guys down there, they are trying so hard. They communicate, they make plans, they strategize, they work together as a team, and if they had better aim, these guys could beat most of the golds that I play with on a regular basis. They could beat some of the platinums I play with, because these guys just, the issue is that the only thing they struggle to work on is their aim. Everything else they have down absolutely perfect, and they are willing to communicate. And this is the same with coppers, like I said, coppers and bronzes, they're all like that. And again, you have the platinums and diamonds, and these are the guys that know they don't need to improve their aim, they just need to get good calls and good information to the rest of their team. These are the guys that know that everything you do in Siege is team-based. You're not looking to be the top fragger, you're looking to be the top team. It doesn't matter if you're going, say, 10 and like 2 deaths, because at the end of the day, kills aren't what's going to get you the wins. It's playing the objective, because that is what this game's about. And again, these are the rank brackets that understand that. But gold and silver, they just don't. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mentality issue. I don't know if it's just a general thing. But this is the worst bracket to be in. I don't know why it is. I don't know why it's formulated that way. You'd think, generally speaking, when I talk about the topic, you think it would be bronze and copper that are the worst. You think they're down there because they're not good enough to be there. And the thing is, yes, they're down there because they've not got skill, but the funny thing is, they're still better than some of the golds and silvers I've met. because they're willing to go the extra mile to communicate. You know, they're willing to say, okay, yes, you know, I'm not the best player. Yes, I need to improve this aspect of my gameplay. And it's just one of these things that it's hilarious to see when you get these players who you can tell are bad, your team can tell are bad, but they are just not willing to admit it and work on their flaws. And because of that, like I said, it makes high silver and gold the worst rank bracket to be in. It's why it's so hard to get out of that rank bracket, because 50% of the time, you're going to be getting teammates that just aren't good. And that because of that, and because of their unwillingness to change, they're not going to get any further, and they'll just blame everyone else around them. But, you know, at least that's just my opinion, and that's my experience of this issue. So now I'm going to throw the question out to you guys. What do you guys think to my opinion? Do you think that silver and gold is the worst bracket to be in, or are you hard and fast and think, you know what, no, it's copper and bronze? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Obviously, if you disagree with me, feel free to let me know why you disagree. Don't just say, oh, it's copper and bronze. Give me a reason why it's copper and bronze. Give me an actual discussion to have with you about it. Obviously, you know, if you agree with me, feel free to let me know again. I'm interested to see, you know, if you agree with me and why you agree with me. You might agree, but for completely different reasons. I want to hear those thoughts, guys. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I make regular discussion videos with Siege, along with gameplay and other games as well. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share the video out there, you know, get people involved, get some more people's opinions in here, share it with your friends, see what they think. Have you got friends in gold or silver that you know are like this, and that won't admit they have a problem, that they can't admit to themselves that they won't work on areas? Again, you know, it might be worth sharing it with them just to go, you know, hey, maybe you should listen to this. Obviously, again, you know, you could think I'm talking shit and feel free to dislike. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. As I said, like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one.